Yeah, I'll react to that, sure.
When traveling from country...
Hey guys, what's up? McJibbin back with another reaction video, doing another History Matters video. My favorite channel until proven otherwise, although I gotta admit, I'm really enjoying the Alexander the Great Epic History TV videos, and so that might be a close second. When did passports become a thing? I was gonna watch this anyway, and I thought, why not react to it? Interesting. Let's do it. When did passports become a thing? Go. Original video at the top of the description. Below, like always, do it.
When traveling from country to country, in most cases, you'll need a passport. Otherwise, the nation you're trying to enter won't know it's you. But when did passports come into existence, and how did travel before then work? Now, first of all, you should know that
so cool. It's more about... I thought it might just be more recent with passports, recent history, but it's more about, I guess, how in history you kind of went in and out of an empire's territory, which is cool.
The idea of borders and people needing permission to enter a territory is ancient. In the Roman Empire, those wishing to leave, like traders or emissaries, would seek a letter of permission. This would be presented to an official at their destination, saying that they were there with the backing of the Roman government. These documents would contain a description of the person it was issued to, who issued it, and where. In terms of verification, it would contain a description of the person it was issued to, who issued it, and where. In terms of verification or standardization, there wasn't any. This system of rulers and local governments issuing what were essentially travel passes continued up until the early modern period. For example, King Henry V had sole competency to give out safe conduct passes which permitted people to leave and enter England. For a price, that is. Over time, more and more people wanted to travel, and so English kings delegated this to their ministers. Over time, more and more people wanted to travel, and so English kings delegated this to their ministers. And the story was similar throughout other European kingdoms, although in Sweden it was more complicated as letters of safe conduct were needed.
So Sweden once owned, or once... I know the Swedish Empire is a thing, was a thing, but I was never quite sure if it held Finland, which obviously it did.
To travel internally to kingdoms, although in Sweden it was more complicated as letters of safe conduct were needed to travel internally too. A similar system existed in France too, whose language was the standard for international documents, and the king would issue passports to those wishing to leave the country. And their validity would be determined by the king's signature, which border guards would learn pretty quickly. The term passport started to pop up in the mid-16th century, and its name has one of two origins.
So the border guards were good at catching fraud signatures. I'm sure people still tried.
It either comes from the document granting someone in the mid-16th century, and its name has one of two origins. It either comes from the document granting someone passage through a seaport, or passage through a city's gates, or ports in French. At this point, you'll notice that passports were only gifted to people of rank or those going somewhere on important business. They weren't necessary for travel at this point, and they were neither proof of identity nor a display of nationality. Passports as we know them didn't start to take shape until the mid-19th century, and the country which made these strides was Britain. And the reason why Britain made these changes was Italian unification, specifically due to one Italian, Felice Orsini. He fled to Britain from Italy, or what would become Italy, and was given a British passport by a friend of his. And so in 1858 he travelled to France on a British passport to kill the French Emperor Napoleon III, who had troops in Rome and was hostile.
I'm thinking like, but doesn't he... ID. Obviously, he didn't have picture ID. Obviously.
Italy to France on a British passport to kill the French Emperor Napoleon III, who had troops in Rome and was hostile to Italian unification. Orsini failed, and when the French found out he was granted permission to travel there by the British government, the French were, to put it mildly, a tad upset. As a result, Britain decided to change its passports from merely being a travel permit to being a guarantee of identity. And after this, passports remained mostly unchanged until the end of World War I, when Europe was plunged into numerous refugee crises. The collapse of the Russian Empire, the dissolution of Austria-Hungary, the fragmentation of the Ottoman Empire...
Whoa, look at that map change. So, this is obviously Austria-Hungary. I hope you can see where I'm pointing to. Switzerland, Italy, Montenegro, Albania maybe? Montenegro? Or Macedonia? That might be Bulgaria. Anyways.
The collapse of the Russian Empire, the dissolution of Austria-Hungary, the fragmentation of the Ottoman Empire, the occupation of Belgium, and the crises in Germany led to millions of people trying to move somewhere else. As such, in 1921, the victorious powers got together to formulate a new system for passports in order to, first and foremost, protect their own borders. And this led to the creation of standardized passports, one which denoted a person's statehood and contained a picture of them. That is, the passport became the basic form of identity used in travel, and not the document that permitted travel itself. That was now the visa. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and
Visa.
thank you for watching.
I did. Thank you for making. Great video. Obviously, I yet to encounter a History Matters video I did not like. So some are just better than others. I was about middle of the pack. It was pretty good. Yeah, check them out for sure. Give a like and subscribe to them and me, maybe. Join the family. And thanks, guys, for all the support. And I'll make another video either later today or tomorrow. See you then.